Hi Monroe Baseball, Coach Trish here, bringing you your weekly workout. I miss working out with you guys and I hope we can get back to it very soon, but in the meantime we're going to make the best of it and give you guys a great full body workout in your homes. I hope that you're staying very active and moving. If it's nice out, go outside, go for a little jog, keep your bodies moving. It's not only good for your physical health, it's really good for your emotional well-being when you're exercising. Studies have shown that people are happier and it builds your immunity, and we all want to stay healthy. For this workout, you're just going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a couple of cans of soup for weights if you don't have weights at home. If you do have weights, I recommend staying under 3 pounds. You could also use pull and spring water bottles, would be fine. You're also going to need something that you can squeeze between your knees for a couple of the exercises. So a small pillow works well, a roll of toilet paper, or a towel rolled up, just to put between your knees for a few exercises, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. You're also going to need a strap that can be used, either a strap or a piece of tape, really, just something to lay down on the floor as a target for certain exercises. So I think that's all you're going to need, and the mat can come and go. Tommy's here with me to demonstrate for you guys today, and I purposely did not tell him what the workout is today. So he's going to be learning it just as you're learning it, and I will be coaching him, and you can learn from how he's moving as well. So today I also wanted to focus on last week. We were outside. We had a lot of space. Today it's Monday. It snowed and it's sopping wet outside. So I wanted to show you how you could get a really good workout from a very small space. So if you can't get outside and you don't have a huge house, we don't have a huge house, so how you can do a dynamic movement prep in a small space, and that's what I wanted to show you today. So let's get started. This will be about a 30-minute workout, and I'd like you to try to do it at least twice this week. If you can, that would be great. And we're going to focus on form before we focus on increasing weights and speed and things like that. So we're going to really talk about form today. So starting with the dynamic movement sequence, move your mat out of the way. That's really important. You don't want to do the dynamic movement on any slippery surface. So Tommy could even have sneakers on for this, or bare feet would be fine. So let's get started. You're going to start with, let's start with knee hug. So grab your knee, bring it up to your chest, and then take a small step. Actually, let's just do it in place. Okay. So go ahead and grab your knees and pull it in. Good. Try to get your knee all the way up to your chest so you feel a nice stretch in the back of the hip. Good. Maybe one more each side. You're a little tighter on the left than the right. You guys may notice that at home too. Great. Let's come into the quad stretch. So you're going to grab your foot, bring it behind you, stretch the front of your thigh, and then switch. Trying to keep your knees next to each other so you get a real lengthening through the front of the thigh bone. And I would prefer you do these in sneakers than barefoot, but I didn't realize he was barefoot until we just started, so we're rolling with it. And now we're going to come into the cradle. So you're going to grab the foot, pull the knee out to the side, and then switch to the other leg. Good. And maybe somebody can get Tommy a pair of sneakers.
He did.
And pause. Next one is the Russian kicks. And so yeah, you need enough space around you so that you don't kick any piece of furniture, but you're going to extend one leg out in front of you, touch the foot with the opposite hand, swing it straight back through, hinging forward from your waist. This is like a deadlift, reaching with your opposite hand to touch the toe on the floor. And then you're going to step, switch with the other foot. So swing it through and swing it through. You can put those on after, Tommy. Let's do the Russian kicks. So swing and swing. So now I'm going to have them slow it down a little bit and use a little less momentum. Maybe swing isn't the right word. Maybe I should say lift your leg to the front, pull it to the back, and stretch down. Trying to maintain your balance is a lot harder when you slow it down. And I remember from the workouts, a lot of the boys would be swinging their legs all over the place. So really try to control it. You're going to get a huge hamstring workout, a lot of glute strengthening with this one. Last one. Good. So I know we usually do these when we're walking across the turf or the field, but like I said, we can be dynamic and still be in one space as long as we're moving. So the next one is lunge and lift. So Tommy's gonna take a big step forward, back leg's gonna be straight, front leg bends, lift your arms up and come up into a nice hip flexor stretch. Good, and then step back and do it with the other leg, perfect. So the back heel lifts, and if you notice this is good, he's barefoot, you can see his heel's lifting and his ball of his foot is staying down. A lot of the boys were coming up onto the tips of the toes, and you wanna make sure that you keep the ball of the foot back down. So you get a nice stretch through the heel cords. Go ahead and do one more each side, Tom. Good, lift that chest up a little higher. You guys are all very familiar with the dynamic workout by now. I'm really happy with that, and I want it to be a routine. I want it to be automatic. You get to the field, you do your dynamic workout, you're ready to go. By doing that, you're gonna perform better because your body's gonna be prepared for quick, explosive baseball type movements, and you're also gonna majorly decrease your risk of injury. The next one is lunge and twist. So this one, he's gonna bend the back knee, and then we're gonna twist each way and then come back. And then go ahead again. Twist, twist, and then coming back to center. Perfect. Keep going, a few more. Baseball is a rotational sport, so it's important that you always have a rotational exercise in your warm-up and your cool down. Last one. Great, let's do side lunges. For this one, I'm gonna have you face the camera, Tom. And for this one, the first thing that happens is the hips go back. As you sidestep, get your weight back so that you come into a nice deep lunge, get a nice stretch in the inner thighs, and then come back to center, and then you're just gonna do the same thing going in the other direction. And this is how you can do it in a small space. So stand in the middle, hips back, good. And boys, remember how to check. If your hips are going back, you gotta make sure you can see your laces. Make sure your knee is not coming over your toes and putting your knee at risk of injury. So get those hips back. You know what I'm talking about, you remember. Good job, Tom. Last one, left and right. Great. And now we're going to come into the inchworm. So usually we're moving on this one, but we're gonna do a variation where Tommy's gonna roll down to the floor, walk his hands out to a plank, good plank position, and then walk your feet up to your hands, keeping your knees as straight as you can. Really important that your hips are lifting up to the ceiling so you get a nice stretch down the back of the legs, and now come all the way back up. You can actually just come back up, roll back up, and then step back, and do it again.
Weird.
Yeah. If you have a hallway in your house, you can easily do these up and down the hallway. But like I said, I wanted to show you from a small space so that you have this option. Why don't you just do 2 more, Tommy? And if you want to pause the video and do a few more extra, you know I love the inchworms. Last one. Great. Quick sumo squat to make sure that we're stretching out the heel cords and your hip flexors. Your hip extensors. Yep, go ahead and come on down. Trying to keep the heels down. Get your elbows inside of your knees and actually push your knees out a little bit. You're gonna stretch out that inner thigh a little bit more. You feel it?
Yeah.
Good. And now go ahead and lift your hips up and down a few times. Up and down. Good. 2, 3, 2 more. And 5. And relax. Come on up. Let's do our arm circles. So these should be done before you throw all the time. Forward. Tommy always corrects me on that. I tend to go backwards first. You're going to do 10 circles, progressively making them bigger and bigger. And then switch, start small, go the reverse direction. Good. Hug yourself, hug the world. Let's open up those chest muscles. This is actually really good for you boys. Now that you're doing all of your schoolwork on the computer, you're sitting in a very forward position on a laptop most of the day. So what happens with that, we get this really kind of slumpy posture. So this opening, chest opening, we're gonna do a couple exercises for that today to really get your shoulders in a good position, because the position of your shoulder needs to be perfect in order to throw a baseball effectively. If you're throwing a baseball from a forward shoulder position, you're gonna not get the velocity you want, and you're also going to have a high risk of injury. So we gotta get those shoulders back in a good position, and this is a good way to kind of stretch out the front of those muscles, those pectoral muscles. Great, so dynamic movement prep is complete. Let's come onto the mat and do some quadruped exercises. You could leave those off for now. We'll put them back on, or put your socks on. And then we'll put those on before we come into our plyometrics. So we're gonna do a few mat exercises, and I know you guys don't have ladders at home, and that was always a really fun exercise for you guys. So instead of doing the ladder, I'm gonna show you some drills that you can do with just using a strap as a target. So we can simulate that at home very effectively. And then we'll finish with some strengthening for the upper body. So come on down onto all fours like a baby crawls. Tommy, you're gonna put your head this way. Good. We're gonna start with alternating arm and leg lifts. So he's gonna start with his hips over his knees and his hands right under his shoulders, and flatten your back out a little bit. So remember this one, boys. I used to cue you with balancing something on your low back that you didn't want to drop or spill. So let's picture that right now. Your favorite bowl of cereal balanced on your low back, and you don't want to spill the milk. You're gonna lift your right arm, Tommy, and your left leg up at the same time, and then bring them back down, and then switch. Good, and I'd rather have you keep the movement small and stay very stable in here. And Tommy's moving at a good pace. You wanna go slow and controlled, and really draw your belly button up even more, Tommy, to support your back. Yeah, good, so that this stays nice and level. You could even put something on your back, nothing heavy, but you could put something on your back to check if you don't have the awareness to see if you're moving or not. So I balanced a roll of toilet paper on his back, and that works out just fine. This next one, he's gonna pause, keep your balance. You're working here, you're really working. The arm is gonna move out to the side, the leg is gonna move out to the side, and then you're gonna bring it back in.
What the heck?
Yep, do it again. It's hard, and then bring it back in. He's got 3 more. You're gonna do 5 on each side. So his leg is moving out to the side, his arm is moving out to the side. You feel the work?
Yep.
Yep, last one. Nice job. And then put that down. So make sure you're not bringing your leg out so far that your back actually moves. You wanna keep your spine nice and straight. Just the arm moves from the shoulder, and only the leg moves from the hip. Your spine is staying as still as possible. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left arm goes up, right leg extends, bring it out to the side, bring it back in. Yeah, this is a progression, guys. I told you that I would still be making your exercises harder and harder. We've been working up to this for 6-7 weeks now. So he's gonna do 5 on this side. I think that's 3, right, Tom?
That's 5.
5, okay, put it back down, great job. And we've been building up to this. So you have the strength and the stability to perform this exercise now, and I think it would have been harder. I know it would have been harder in the beginning. Okay, so now we're gonna come into jackrabbit. So back in the same position. You're gonna keep your toes underneath now. So you're gonna, put your toes underneath you. And now, Tommy, I want you to think of, without moving, I want you to think of moving your hands to your knees and your knees to your hands. And you're gonna feel your ab muscles turn on. So your arms aren't moving, but you're putting a little tension, like you're pulling your hands to your knees and your knees to your hands. Do you feel it?
Yep.
Feel it turn on, guys? Great. Now keep that tension and float your knees off the mat. Lift your knees up. No, you're not your feet, your knees.
My knees?
Knees, yep.
Oh,
Lift your
yeah.
knees up. See, I told you he doesn't know what we're doing. Good. So you feel the work there?
Yeah.
Good. And now put it back down. Again, pull the hands to the knees, knees towards the hands. Turn those muscles on. Float the knees up. Good. Hold that floating position and extend one leg out behind you.
Oh my God, what the heck?
On the mat.
Oh.
And then put it back down and extend the other leg out. Keep the knees up. Keep the knees up. Reach the other one out and put it back down. So you can actually bring your foot out to the mat, not to the air. So you're just gonna slide it out onto the mat. So stay on the balls of your feet. Come down for a second. Let's regroup. Hands under hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. And the exercise is
Pulling this in.
you're going to keep your knees lifted and you're going to extend one leg out, bring it back in. Extend the other leg out, bring it back in.
Oh.
So you see me?
Yeah.
Keeping both knees hovering off the ground. We're going to alternate. It's kind of like a mountain climber, but we're slowing it down and really working some isolated work here. So go ahead and lift it up. Did you see me do it? So lift your foot up as you come down. So it's like a tap. We're tapping the foot out, bringing it in. Tapping it out, bringing it in. It's not your fault. I didn't describe it well. Go ahead and, yes. That's it. Feel the work?
Yep.
Good, nice job. And if you've been doing these the whole time, you can take a break while we were figuring it out. Last one. And come down and relax down for a moment. Next exercise is, let's come into on your stomach. So go ahead and lay down on your stomach, prop up on your elbows, like you're reading a book. Yeah. So this is a good position to get into a little bit. Also, speaking of you guys working more from your desks at home, this is a really good stretch for your spines too, because like I said before, we tend to be kind of hunched over when we're working on a computer. And if you find yourself in that position, I'd like you boys to try to sit up and get a little bit straighter in your posture. Really, for baseball, it's good for your general health, but it's really good for your shoulders. You're going to need that good alignment for the baseball season. So the stretch Tommy's in right now is really good. And do you feel a little stretch with this?
Yeah.
And what I would ask him to do is draw his shoulder blades down, his back a little bit more, make his neck a little bit longer so he's not scrunched up like this. Great. And now you're going to bring your chest back down to the mat. Hands are going to come next to your chest. So go ahead and lower yourself down. And we're going to come up into a little press up. So now you're going to be using your hands to assist you in coming back up to that same position. Good. And remember the shoulder blades draw down your back. So these angel bones. Yes. Much better, Tom. Good. And press up. Great. You can do 3 more. And last one. Very good. Coming back down. This next exercise is a high level exercise and there's a lot of instruction with it. So I'm going to have you stay with me and follow my cueing because it's a really wonderful exercise in getting your shoulders stable and strong for throwing. But it can be a little complicated too. So stay with me. Come down onto your chest. Hands are going to be out in a W. So if you can see me, Tommy's like this right now. And the first movement, and you're going to hover your face off the mat, or you can take a small towel, roll it up, and put it under your forehead. That might be a little bit more comfortable. The first step is you're going to rotate your hands and forearms off the mat. So you're going to keep your elbows down on the mat, and you're going to lift your hands and forearms off the mat. So you're going to lift up
I can't.
from here. Yes, it's not a big motion, just from there. Hold that position. Now you're going to lift your elbows off the mat. Keep the hands lifted. Good. Now you're going to lift your chest off the mat. Keep everything else lifted. Good. Now reach your hands up overhead. Good. Now you're going to reverse that the same way you got here. So go ahead and lower your arms down, lower your chest down. Then you're going to lower your elbows. Then you're going to lower your hands. I told you this was a tricky one.
Okay, I got this.
So step 1 is hands and forearms. 2 is lift your elbows. 3 is lift your chest. 4, reach your arms up overhead. Now pull your arms back down by your side. Keep everything lifted. Lower your chest, lower your elbows, lower your hands. Are you breathing?
Yes.
Make sure you're breathing. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your hands and forearms. Lift your elbows. Lift your chest. Reach your arms up overhead. Pull your arms back down. Keep everything lifted. Lower the chest, lower the elbows, lower the hands. Do you feel the work in here?
Yes.
Yeah, you should too. Go ahead and do 2 more. Go ahead and hands, elbows, chest, reach up, pull the elbows back down, lower the chest, lower the elbows, lower the hands. Last one. Hands, elbows, chest, reach, lower, lower the chest, lower the elbows, and lower the hands. Excellent job. We're going to stick with a little bit of extension work. You can stay down in that same position. Reach both arms up overhead. Now you're going to lift your right arm and your left leg. And pull your belly button up away from the mat a little so you're supporting your back. Now switch and lift your left hand and right leg. And bring it back down. So pause for a minute. So Tommy's trying really hard to lift his leg very high, but you don't have a lot of hip extension, so don't expect to lift your leg that high. Lift your leg an inch or two off the mat is plenty, and by limiting how high you lift your leg, you're not gonna arch your back as much. So pull the belly button in. We're only lifting the leg a little bit and the arm a little bit, so you don't have a lot of motion here. We're gonna add a little tempo to this. This exercise is called swimming. Go ahead and lift the right arm, left leg. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. Do you feel it? And
Yep.
switch. And switch. Good. Switch. Make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders up. You got one more each side. And last one. Excellent job. Go ahead and come back up onto all fours. Push back into what yogis call a child's pose. So you're going to sit back on your feet, keep your hands out in front of you, rest your forehead on the mat, get a nice stretch through the whole back and through your arms. Take 2 nice deep breaths in that position and just let your body relax into it. Good, come on back up to sitting. I want you to find a step at this time. So if you can take your phone, or put your shoes on. If you can take your phone with you, or if you just want to watch the exercises and then go do them on the step in your house, you can do them. I'm just doing them on a box here, but I guess I could have used the hearth here as well. But a bottom step of your household stairs is fine, or an outside step will work as well. We're just going to do a little bit of a tricep press to begin with. And you're also going to want to scoot your mat out of the way. We'll come back to it, but I just want to get you up and moving a little bit. It's never taken you so long to put on your shoes.
Well, now that we're like waiting, it just seems longer.
Okay, that's good. You don't need to double knot them. Okay, so sitting on the edge of the step. Hands are on the edge as well. I'm going to show you 2 variations, and you can start with the easier version and then work up to the harder one, except for maybe my U11s and U12s. You guys can go right to the harder one. Go ahead and scoot yourself off the steps. You're going to hold yourself up with your arms and walk your feet forward. So starting with the knees bent, Tommy's going to bend his elbows. Elbows go straight back. Make sure they're not coming out to the side, boys. They're going straight behind him as he dips down and then presses back up.
It's easier to keep them closer to your body if you angle your hands like in. Because I just had my hands like this and they just like had to go out.
Okay.
So if you put your hands like that, it's
So maybe rotating your hands out a little bit. You can get your elbows back a little bit more. That's fine. So keep the elbows bent. Do 2 more in this position. And you don't even have to come down that far. Tommy's got a good range of motion with this, which is great. And pause here for a minute. Actually, walk your legs out now to a straight position. This is the more advanced version. Go ahead and bend your elbows here and press it back down. Out, I should say. Yep. And press it back out. You feel this work in the back of your arms?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Last one. And go ahead and scoot your hips back up on the seat for a minute. So the next one is going to be a leg pull exercise. These are all Pilates exercises. And you're going to walk your feet out, hips come off again, just holding this reverse plank position, which you guys know well. We've practiced this. And you're going to come into leg pull front. Go ahead and walk it out. Good. Hips come back a little bit more. Kind of sit your tailbone down. That's better, Tom. Good. Press your shoulders down. Yeah. Push the step away from you so that your shoulders are coming away from your ears. That was awesome. Good. Nice job. Do 2 more each leg. I think those hamstrings are getting longer. 1 more each side. Great job. And you can scoop your hips back up. We're going to come into a little hamstring stretch. So go ahead and put one leg out. The other knee is going to stay bent. And you're going to come forward into a nice little stretch. Bring that foot out a little bit more. Do you feel a stretch in this leg?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're going for here. A nice little hamstring stretch. And 1 more breath here. And then bring that up. You're going to bring the right leg across your left leg into a little bit of a back of the hip stretch. You feel this working you? Sit up nice and tall, boys. Make sure that we're not kind of slumping into this position, that you're sitting up nice and tall. Good, and let's switch and do the other leg. So extend the left leg out.
You want to move
Come
the box
forward.
that way? Because we're kind of like
Oh,
in the
that's
corner
good.
of the screen.
Nope, go ahead.
Hi.
Didn't you already do that leg? No. Okay. Thought you did.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, hold that stretch. And 1 last breath there. And then bring it up, cross it over the other leg, and come into a nice little back of the hips. So see how Tommy naturally wants to kind of, yeah, he's got to fight to get that posture upright. And then come up to standing. You're going to, so we don't have a railing here, but if you're doing this on a set of stairs, you can hold on to a railing. I'm just gonna stand next to Tommy if he needs a hand. But you're gonna stand on the edge of the stair. Don't fall off like I just did. You're gonna stand on the edge of the stair, and you're gonna let your heels kind of come over the edge a little bit as you come up and down. Actually, I'll just show them this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, feeling the work in the back of the calves. And 10, good. Now you're gonna bring 1 foot forward. I'll bring the other foot forward so you can see. And I'm gonna let my heel stretch down over the step and really lengthen the back of the calf. I'm gonna have you do this one because he needs it.
So this is...
So come on up, both feet, yep. The right toes are gonna be right on the edge of the step. And you're gonna let that right heel drop down to get a nice stretch in the back of the right calf. So you boys at this age are growing very rapidly, and your heel cords get tight, and then they hurt, and you get that heel pain or the pain in the back of the ankle there. So this is a really good way to stretch that out, and now you have the time to do it. Go ahead and switch to the other leg. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
So Tommy's one of those kids that gets heel pain because his muscles have to stretch longer to compensate for his legs getting longer as he grows. So it's very normal, and this is a good way to treat it. Excellent. All right, sit back down on the step. I'm gonna move this that way, yep. Okay, so for a little stretch, actually let's sit facing, so stand up. So go ahead and sit here. You get to sit for this one. All right, so arms are gonna be out at your side. You're gonna side bend over to the left, arch up and over and feel a nice stretch. You can put your hand down on the step if you want to. Good, and feel a nice stretch, and then come back up, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So when he's side bending to the right, he wants to keep the left hip down. Now switch back to the other side. Good, and then come back up and stretch. Feel good stretch?
Yep.
So he's not letting this hip come up, and he's getting a nice lengthening through the whole side body. Let's do 1 more each side, Tommy. So you're doing 3 on each side right now. Great, and a little bit of rotation stretch. So arms are gonna be out at your sides. He's gonna twist to the left and pulse 2 times. So he's gonna twist, pulse 1, 2, twist the other side, pulse 1, 2. So go ahead, 1, 2. Keeping the hips nice and still on the step if you can. This may be a little hard if you're at a stairwell. So you can actually do this with your arms crossed in front like this, your hands behind your head, or you can do your hands on your hips, Cross your arms, use variations. If you're gonna hit something, obviously, modify. Good. And so now we're gonna come into, so stand back up. We're gonna do a few more roll down series and a little bit more ab work, so grab the mat, Tom. And grab that item that you were gonna use to put between your knees. So sit facing me. Let me back this up a little bit. Okay, sit down on the mat facing me. You're gonna put the pillow between your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Arms are out in front and you're gonna hold onto your cans or water bottles, whatever you have. So Tommy's using 1 pound. He's going to inhale in this position, and then as he exhales, he's gonna roll back halfway. Good, just halfway. All right, now from this position, he's going to lift the cans up and down, both of them at the same time. Yes, now he's feeling those abs engage, right? 1, 2, we're gonna do 6, 3, 4, nice job, 5, and 6. Now hold the can straight out in front, and now we're gonna pulse up and down just 2 inches. So just a little bit, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, abs should be working. 6, I think this is 6. Good, hold it halfway down. You got one more in you?
Yeah.
Bicep curls. Go ahead and curl it in.
Just one?
Both. Yep, and then stretch it out. That's it. Now squeeze that pillow, that towel, that toilet paper roll. Get those inner thighs really working.
How many were you?
Last one. Good, come all the way back up. Good, put the cans off to the side. And you're going to keep the pillow there, actually. Arms straight all the way out in front. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you roll down super, super slow-mo all the way down to the mat. Good. And we can lose the pillow now. Straighten your legs all the way out. Arms are up overhead. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you bring your arms down, roll all the way back up to sitting. Exhale. Good. Roll forward as far as you can. Yeah. Inhale here. Exhale, roll all the way back down. Great. 2 more times like that, Tommy. That's great. 2 more times. Don't forget to get that forward stretch when you get up to the top. And that was it, right?
Yep.
Great. Bring one leg up to tabletop. You guys should all know what tabletop is now. And the other leg up into tabletop. Great. Arms are long and strong. Inhale to prepare. As he exhales, he's going to lift his head and shoulder blades, those bones on your upper back, off the mat. Go ahead and exhale. Now he's going to pump his arms. Now you don't have to hit the mat like you guys do goofing around at the clinic. Pump the whole arms from the shoulders. And go. That's 20. 30, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're doing 100. 6, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on, boys, you got this. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax down. Good work?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. We're not done yet. Come halfway up. Grab one knee into your chest. So only halfway up. Yep. And actually, I said that wrong. It's even less than halfway. So just to the chest lift position. One leg up into your chest. The other leg's going up to 45 degrees. And you're going to switch. You got it. Switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. And relax. Very good. Turning onto your left side. You're going to prop yourself up on your elbow. So we're not going to do the pillow under the head today. We're going to actually come up on your elbow. So like that. Yeah. Legs are straight and strong. Good. Core is engaged, so you're thinking about your waist kind of coming into your spine. Lifting the top leg straight up to the ceiling. Good, and then back down. So that might have been a little too high because you weren't able to stay still here. So bring it up a little less. Good, 2, that's much better. 3, 4, 5, he's going nice and slow. Now I want 5 fast. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 slow. Come on, 1. You feeling the work? 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Tommy actually told me today with the indirect learning that gym class wasn't posted. So you can work this video into maybe your gym class period if that works, or after school, whatever works for you. Now you're going to come up into a side plank. So Tommy's going to put that elbow down into the mat and straighten his legs all the way out. And I find it's best if your sneakers are on the floor, not the mat. So scoot down a little. Good. Now he's going to press his elbow down into the mat and lift his hips up off the mat. Go ahead and lift up. That's it, Tom. Good. Now with this arm out in front of you, you're going to spell Monroe. Nice big capital letters. M. Yeah, there you go. Keeping your balance. Now he's got to spell.
I already did all my homework.
Good. And then come down. Switch to the other side, but let's put your head down this way. So first propped up on your elbow, hand under your head. Let's do the leg lifts first.
Oh.
So bring your hand to your head, propped up on your elbows, legs are straight and strong. Lift the top leg up. You're doing 5 slow, 5 fast, 5 slow. So here's 2 of the slow, 3, 4, and 5 fast. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5 slow. And come up into side plank. So get up on that elbow, lift your hips up.
I can't really put my feet on the floor.
Oh, here.
No.
Lift your feet up.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
And then lift your hips up. And baseball. Spell baseball. You did Monroe. Now we're doing baseball. Keep that balance. Press the elbow into the mat. Lift those hips up. You got it. You're really working your core here. And after baseball, you can go ahead and sit down. Come on up to standing. We got a motor. I planned a lot of exercises. All right, so now you're going to lay that strap down. Okay? Or a belt or an old tie. And you're going to face the camera. And you're doing side jumps over the line. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Landing really softly. He's doing a good job with that. And relax. Now he's going to do some fielding. So whatever hand your glove is on, he's going to do a forehand and a backhand with the glove. So go ahead. So yes. And he's going to get a little lower. So let me show you this one because I sprung it on you. So you're going to be here and here.
Oh.
And here and here.
Okay.
Okay, get that butt low. That's it.
Oh, no. Wait, it's here and then all the way
All the way over. That's it. That's it, Tommy.
Oh.
Get that other foot on the other side. You're good.
And then
And last one. Very good. Front and back jump. So facing me, jumping over the line, behind the line. 1, 2, quicker. 4, 5, 6, 8, and relax. All right, a little bit of fast feet. So we're gonna pull that out to the side, face the camera, ready position. Kind of thought of as a football drill, but in baseball, we live here, right? So we wanna be light on our feet. We wanna be able to respond quickly to changing directions. The ball's going over here. You gotta be able to react really fast. So we're gonna get those legs fired up with some fast feet. 30 seconds, go. Nice, Tommy, good. Fire them up. Keep going. Your friends are all doing it with you virtually.
hi.
And you got 5 more seconds. And relax. Very good. the squat mechanics, just to review, because next week we're going to be doing that paper plate activity that we introduced at the In Sports Clinic. And I really want you guys working on your squat mechanics. It's so crucial for athletes to have good squat mechanics. So Tommy, facing me, the first thing that needs to happen is your hips go back. And your hands can be in front of you. Hips go back, knees bend, knees not going over your toes. Good, coming back up. And do that again. So hips back is the first thing. Another big cue I want you to focus on is thinking about your knees staying in line with your toes. A lot of the boys, the clinic, I saw a lot of this where the knees are coming in. You know who you are. Keep your knees out. Think about pushing into something on the outside of your thighs so that as you sit back, you're keeping good alignment. You could also think about kind of screwing your feet into the floor and twisting them out, getting those knees outwards as you come into your squat. So practice that. And I think we're out of time. We're gonna do more arm work next week. We did some arm work today for sure. But we're gonna do the dice today. So here's your trivia. What famous Yankee catcher had a cartoon character named after him? So a famous Yankee catcher that had a cartoon. Nope, don't answer it. If you want to comment,
I want to roll the dice.
you get to roll the dice because nobody else is here. So here, roll the dice. But if you want to comment on the link on my YouTube, go ahead and answer the trivia question to the best of your ability. Go ahead and roll the dice. No, don't huck it. No. Just roll it right here. Last exercise. What is it?
15 jumping jacks.
All right, let's do it. Go. 1. Arms big. Clap at the top. Not wimpy jumping jacks. Great job today, guys.
When you clap at the top, it's like baby.
No, you get full range of motion. All right, don't clap, but get your arms up there. All right, great job, Monroe Travel Baseball. We'll see you next week. Work hard, have fun, and don't forget to get out there and swing that bat and take some throws. Bye.
Bye.